Welcome back. In the last video, we did a review of the map method, which I'd covered in my intro class. This won't be the last time we see it. We used it a lot in the intro class for rendering data, and we're going to do so today. So we're going to see it in just a little bit here. But I want to cover a brand new method called the filter method, which will also be very helpful and we'll be using in later lectures on more complex data. And so let's go ahead and take a look at that. So the filter method is very similar to the map method in a way. So let's, I'm going to go ahead and just, we're going to keep using this numbers array. And I'm going to write some code and I want you to kind of see its effect and then we'll go over it. So const less than 40. All right. So just like map, it's called on the array. So we use that dot syntax. And just like map, it's going to take a callback that will be called on each individual element of that array. So it's going to be number, and I'm going to do my arrow function here. But now we're going to see something a little different. And I'm going to even expand this just to make it more clear. So I'm going to do an if statement. If number is less than 40, return true. Else, return false. And then I'm going to console log less than 40. Great. So we have our console here. If we refresh, sorry for the phone tone, I've got 5, 10, 38, 9. And so let's think about what happened here. And let's just make it clear what the original array is. I'm going to comment out this doubled, so we're console logging numbers. Let's refresh. So this is the original array, 5, 10, 42, 38, 9, 9, 94. And there's 6 items in this array. And what filter does is it tests each element of an array and will return true if we want to keep it based on that test. So if we return true, if our number is less than 40 here, we're going to keep that number. It passed the test. But if it's not less than 40, we go to the else statement and return false. So any number that doesn't pass this test, otherwise any number that's bigger than 40, will be filtered out of the original array. Now note, just like map, I'm going to get rid of this console log here. I'm going to bring it down here. Just like map, filter does not mutate the original array. And I said that a couple times. Mutate means change in any way. So here's numbers. It hasn't been affected. Just because we called a filter method on it doesn't mean that it changed the array in any way. Filter, just like map, returns a brand new array and leaves the original array alone. That means that it's a pure function. It does not change the data. If I run it 10,000 times, it will always give me back the same result based on its input. Okay, so that's what filter does. And just to show you the opposite, so you can kind of see how it works the other way. Now all the numbers bigger than 40. So if number is greater than 40, it will return true, and that return true is the signal to keep the number. So if we refresh, now we are keeping every number bigger than 40, and all the other numbers 5, 10, 38, 9 were rejected and filtered out of the array. Great. And so one last point on a simplification you can make to this. This code is longer than it needs to be. So oftentimes we have to do if statement conditionals for tests, But if we just have a single comparison, that's very simple, something like a number comparison, or we're checking if something is equivalent to another thing, maybe a number, maybe a string. The expression itself returns true or false. So if I plug in 90 here, for example, JavaScript runs this and evaluates it to true. Or if I plugged in something else here, like 2, JavaScript evaluates this and gives false. Well, if we already have something that's giving us true or false, this if-else is kind of unnecessary. Rather than do all that, why don't we just return number less than 40? Now we don't have to do the if-else, and our code's a lot shorter. And because it's a single line, our arrow function can become single lined. We can get rid of the return keyword and the curly brace, and this code now works the same. So we have our filtering out of all the numbers that are bigger than 40 and only keeping the ones that are smaller than 40. Awesome. So hopefully you feel somewhat comfortable about the map and filter methods now. Again, map should have been a review. Filter's brand new. There are some exercises to practice these, and the upcoming videos will now show how we use these in the context of more complex data. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in a little bit.